aren't you married yet? Madam Toastmaster fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. That's a question asked me by my mother, my father, aunts, uncles, and even my dentist. It's almost as if they're asking me, what's wrong with you? You know, in some cultures, you're not considered responsible until you've been married and have children. And it's not like I haven't tried. You know, I've asked quite a few women out, but I've also tried the new methods such as blind dating, speed dating, online dating. And there's been some discussions about the connections made in these new methods. I'm going to talk about the disconnections of my experiences. And it started with my conversation with my cousin, Minnie Mentwell. And I proceeded to describe some of the details about a perfect date for me. And after a couple minutes, she said, Harry, I've got the perfect match for you. Her name is Goldie Digger. Right? Describe her to me. And after a couple minutes, I had to ask her, well, is she cute? Well, I think so. Sure, you seem a little bit hesitant. Yes, you've got to go out with her. Okay, well, I got the contact information, called her up, set up the first date, and as I approached her house, the door opened, and oh my God, I felt like I went into the Munster family house. Let's just say my cousin and I have opposite definitions of what cute is. But I figured after a couple beers, I could learn to be progressive. And you get to know her personality, right? Well, so we went out to the restaurant, and before the food was served, she asked me a couple questions. Or she mentioned a couple things. Harry, in order for me to get to know a man, I've got to ask these personal, intimate questions. Okay. Well, what do you do for a living? How much money do you make? Do you believe in life insurance before marriage? If we were to get serious, would you be willing to support me and my aging mother? Father, brothers, and our 3 chihuahuas with skin condition? Check, please. No! So it didn't work out with me and Golden. But I didn't want to give up, so I had to try a different method, and that was speeding. For those of you who aren't familiar with speeding, this is when a group of men and women get together. They talk to each other face to face for about 5 to 8 minutes, and then rotate on to the next person. And I've done this a few times, and after the 47th session, I found the perfect match. Her name was Anyone Will Do. Just shorten the name to Annie. And we had a great conversation. She laughed at my corny jokes. It just felt so right for both of us that we exchanged contact information right then and there. And as I was driving home, I got really excited about having a first date with her. In fact, I called her up. Annie, I got an idea for a first date. Why don't we go have a picnic in the park? So I left that message on her voicemail. And by the time I got home, I had another idea. Annie, in addition to the picnic in the park, why don't we go for a walk on the beach? So I left a second message. Yeah, I just couldn't get her out of my head, so I had to call up again and said, Annie, in addition to a picnic in the park and a walk on the beach, why don't we go to the Hollywood Bowl for a concert? It'll be a great day for a date. But I didn't stop there. In fact, I left about 5 more date ideas that night. So I was a bit surprised she didn't call me back. So, at work, I called her up. Annie, I haven't heard from you. Can you call me back, please? Still didn't call. So that probably made me leave about 20 more messages. But I got a connection. A number of you, Dal, has been disappointed. I don't know what happened to her. It's something I said. But I had to go on. I wanted to try another method, and that was online dating. And I searched around, and I found a site that I felt comfortable with. It was desperate.com. So I filled out my profile. I didn't fudge a little bit on my profile. I added about 100 grand to my salary. 5.5 inches to my height. And I happened to mention my Toastmasters humorous speech trophies. So I was able to find what I thought was another perfect match. Her name was Tess Vestite. She looked great in her pictures. She had long flowing hair. She had intelligent responses, and we seemed to share similar interests. Travel, sports, cultures. I think I mentioned sports such as all wrestling. And so we exchanged email messages, and we were able to call each other on the phone, and she spoke with this deep, sexy voice. So we met for the first date, and I thought, wow, what a tall, beautiful woman. And it was an extension of a conversation that we had, and it ended with a deep, passionate kiss, leading to a second date, where she invited me over for dinner. And as the food was being cooked, she walked over with a Bloody Mary in her hand. Said, "Here you go, big boy." Next thing you know, I see this older woman come in. And she said, "No, Trans, didn't I tell you to not wear Mama's clothes? You have to get those back." I proceeded to pull a wig from my Tess. And at that point I realized, oh my God, my perfect date was a man! That's why I'm still not married yet.